You are not a bad parent, but there are things you are doing today, right now probably, that your baby is silently suffering through. Not because you're careless, because nobody told you. Pediatric researchers have spent decades studying what actually stresses, confuses, and harms infants, and almost none of it makes it into parenting books. This video is that research. Stay until the end, because number 7 is the one that will genuinely change how you move through your house. Babies cannot tell you what hurts. They cannot point at the problem. All they can do is store it in their nervous system, in their cortisol levels, in the attachment patterns they will carry into adulthood. So today we are going through the everyday things that hurt your baby that most parents never find out about until it is too late to undo. Point 1, washing their clothes in regular detergent. This one starts before you even touch your baby. Standard laundry detergents contain optical brighteners, chemicals designed to make fabric appear whiter under light. They are not rinsed out. They stay in the fabric. Against adult skin, this is mostly harmless. Against a newborn skin, which is 30% thinner than yours and absorbs nearly everything it contacts, these chemicals are a direct irritant to the nervous system and immune response. Studies in contact dermatitis journals have linked standard detergent residue to infant eczema flares, sleep disruption from skin irritation, and chronic low-grade stress responses. The baby is not fussy. The baby is itching in a way they have no language for. Switch to fragrance-free, dye-free detergent specifically formulated for infants. Not just for their clothes, for anything that touches their skin, including your shirt when you hold them. Point 2, keeping the house too quiet. The instinct is loving. Baby is sleeping, everyone whispers, the house goes on mute. But here's the problem. Inside the womb, your baby was surrounded by constant sound. Around 85 decibels, roughly the noise level of a vacuum cleaner. Around the clock for 9 months. Silence is not normal to a newborn. It is alien and alarming. Researchers at the Oregon Health and Science University found that babies raised in artificially quiet environments during sleep develop a hypersensitivity to noise, meaning the smallest sound wakes them, because their nervous system was never allowed to learn that background noise is safe. You are accidentally training them to be light sleepers. Let the house stay at normal volume. Run a fan. Leave the television on low in another room. Silence is not rest for a newborn. It is sensory isolation. Point 3, holding the phone screen in front of their face. Not just screen time, specifically holding a bright, fast-moving screen within 12 inches of an infant's face while you scroll or show them videos. 2 things are happening simultaneously that cause real damage. First, the blue light wavelength emitted by phone screens suppresses melatonin in adults. In infants, whose melatonin regulation is still forming in the first months, the suppression effect is significantly stronger and directly disrupts the circadian rhythm development that governs their entire sleep architecture for the first 2 years. Second, the rapid movement of content on a screen, faster than any natural stimulus a baby would encounter, overstimulates the visual cortex in a way that researchers at the University of London described as forcing the brain's attention system to sprint before it can walk. The result is overtiredness, overstimulation, and an increased startle response for hours after exposure. The baby is not entertained. The baby's brain is overwhelmed and cannot tell you. Point 4, handing them to someone without warning. You see a family member. You want to share the baby. You reach over and pass them across to waiting arms. From your perspective, a lovely moment. From your baby's perspective, the one solid thing in their world, your scent, your heartbeat, your temperature, was removed without signal and replaced with something foreign. No transition, no warning. Research on infant cortisol responses shows that sudden caregiver transfers, especially before 9 months, trigger the same stress hormone spike as a mild startle event. Done repeatedly, this teaches the baby's nervous system that safety is unreliable, that the person who holds them can vanish without warning. Before you hand your baby to anyone, hold them close first. Let the other person enter the baby's visual field. Let the baby make eye contact, and then transfer slowly. 10 seconds of preparation prevents a cortisol flood. Point 5, leaving them in a bouncer or rocker for too long. Bouncers are marketed as a solution. Pop the baby in, get your hands free. Everyone wins. The problem is positional. When a baby is reclined at the typical bouncer angle, around 45 degrees, With their head unsupported, the weight of the head compresses the airway slightly and puts continuous strain on the developing cervical spine. The American Academy of Pediatrics has flagged inclined sleepers and bouncers repeatedly for this reason. Beyond the physical, there is a neurological cost. Babies in bouncers are not being held. They are not receiving the tactile input, pressure, warmth, movement variation that the developing brain requires to build its sensory map of the world. Extended bouncer time correlates with delayed proprioception, the body's ability to understand where it is in space, which affects motor development milestones. Bouncers are a tool for minutes, not hours. Point 6. Using a happy voice to say tense things. Babies cannot understand your words until roughly 12 months, but they can read the emotional charge beneath them from birth. What many parents do not realize is that using a calm or cheerful tone to mask tension, saying everything is fine in the voice you use when everything is not fine, is something babies detect and are confused by. The confusion is the harm. Researchers studying infant emotional attunement found that mismatched tone and underlying emotion creates a specific kind of distress in babies because their nervous system receives two conflicting signals simultaneously and cannot resolve them. They know something is wrong. You are telling them nothing is. That dissonance, not the original tension, is what gets stored. You do not need to perform happiness for your baby. A calm, quiet, honest tone when you are stressed is safer than a bright, false one. Point 7. Being physically present but emotionally absent. This is the one. You are in the room, the baby is not alone, but you are on your phone, dissociated, exhausted, mentally somewhere else entirely. Research pioneered by Dr. Edward Tronick through the still face experiment showed that when a caregiver goes emotionally blank, present in body, absent in engagement, babies notice within seconds. They begin attempting to re-engage. They smile, they reach, they vocalize. When that fails, within 90 seconds they go into distress. Within 2 minutes they withdraw. The still face experiment was designed for 2 minutes in a lab. Most parents do this for hours across a day without realizing it. The baby is not fine because you are in the room. The baby needs your face, your responsiveness, your attunement, not your proximity. Physical presence without emotional presence registers to a baby's nervous system as a specific kind of abandonment. None of this was meant to make you feel guilty. Every single thing on this list is done every day by parents who love their children completely. The problem was never intention. It was information. Now you have it. The baby who cannot tell you what hurts is counting on you to find out for them. And you just did. If this video reached you at the right time, share it with one parent who needs to see it.